I'm Steve Broadhead, founder and director of Broadband-Testing Labs, an independent test labs based in Europe. We've been carrying out WAN optimization testing, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. By WAN optimization, what we mean is saving bandwidth and improving access and access speeds to applications and services on wide area networks and the internet. Now, what we find amazing still at broadband testing is so many companies believe WAN optimization to be a luxury rather than a necessity. We beg to differ. We believe it is an absolute necessity nowadays, and that's because the world is changing. It's changing from the client-server world of old into the web-based, cloud-based application services availability via the internet. Everything changes from a WAN optimization perspective, so we believe we need to test this environment, both the old environment and the new environment side by side. In order to do this, we took products from Blue Coat and from Riverbed. We created a test bed with a WAN simulator simulating a T1 line, and we also added 100 milliseconds of latency to that test bed, effectively simulating a real-world configuration. For the test format itself, we created a head-to-head comparison over 4 rounds of testing, starting with traditional file transfer, then moving on to web applications, video, and finally, cloud-based computing. Here we're focusing on optimizing video traffic. Video is the fastest growing application on the internet today. In fact, over 52% of all internet traffic is video, and it's an absolute bandwidth wrecker. Don't just take our word for it. Joe Skarupa, Vice President of Research at Gartner, has also identified this problem whereby many companies are trying to add more and more video onto their networks. But their networks are just simply not designed to handle this level of video traffic. Consequently, this traffic does need optimizing. We decided to put it to the test with products from Blue Coat and Riverbed. We created a test bed based around a WAN simulator simulating a T1 line with 100 milliseconds of latency, that's delay. In this particular case, that latency is critical because video does not handle any form of latency well at all. We used a test tool from Microsoft whereby we were able to create multiple concurrent video streams, starting with 20, and test them against each product in turn. If we look at Riverbed first, what we found was, even with just 20 concurrent streams, bandwidth utilization immediately was pegged at 100% and stayed there. What this means is there was no bandwidth available for any other application or service to use. In contrast, when we tested with Blue Coat with 20 concurrent clients, we found bandwidth utilization maxed at only 25% and very quickly dropped to almost 0, meaning that not only could it sustain 20 concurrent video streams, but there was enormous amounts of bandwidth left for other applications and services. Moving then up to 30 concurrent streams, we found immediate problems with the Riverbed product whereby it was failing to deliver video streams, and 100% utilization meant we could not send any more services or applications across that link. Again, in contrast, with Blue Coat, we found exactly the same performance as before, i.e. 25% utilization maximum, dropping quickly to almost 0, so again freeing up all that bandwidth for other applications and services. We then continued testing with the Blue Coat with 50 clients and then 100 clients and still found exactly the same performance levels, i.e. only 25% maximum utilization, dropping to almost 0, therefore freeing up that bandwidth for other applications and services. In that sense, we can move to 150 and even more concurrent video streams with the Blue Coat device and still actually run other applications and services on top of that. In contrast, looking back to the Riverbed product, in reality, because it could only sustain 20 maximum concurrent video clients, it effectively added very little to our baseline run with no optimization whatsoever, which also handled 20 clients. So in this particular case, the round very clearly goes to Blue Coat.